Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Peak to Middle School. My name is Narwhal. I'm here with Kyle.
Yep.
And Joe.
Hello.
Mariners legend.
Joe, how's it feel to be living the dream?
Oh, it's pretty awesome. I can't lie. I think it's been like 2 months now, probably. I've done, I probably should have figured these numbers out. Probably like 20-ish games at this point now.
Wow.
Or maybe a little more.
So you're basically a Major League Baseball player at this point.
I think I've hit I'm about to hit a checkpoint in like service time, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Dude, you've spent more time on a professional baseball field than probably like you're probably in the 1% in terms of the whole world, people that have spent time in a professional baseball stadium.
No.
There's some season ticket holders that are always there. But on the field?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to say
I don't know what the word
is.
Yeah, there's like a way that we could word it where it would work out.
To where you're really, really
But you
special.
got to also remember that like some of these people, like the guy, like the clubhouse attendant or clubhouse like manager for the Oakland A's, he's been there since for 67. He's been there 54 years.
Oh my, that's
Bro.
actually sweet though.
He was a ball boy when he was 13, like one of the guys that sits on the on the bench or on the stool and grabs a foul ball and tosses it to fans.
Yeah.
So he did that when he was 13. He worked his all the way up to the clubhouse manager, like head equipment guy.
Is that your
Wow.
plan?
I would hope to get a little higher after 54 years, maybe. Like, I don't know if I want to stop at clubhouse manager or if like maybe that is the ceiling. Then so be it. But
Manager.
yeah, it is a manager. I'd
Commissioner.
get a locker tag. I mean, hey, currently the Mariners still don't have a president, so you know.
That is true.
Yo, I wanted to ask you, both you guys, your opinion on it. I saw a tweet about, I don't know if it was the White Sox, I think it was, or the Yankees. I don't know, but you guys would probably know what I'm talking about. But there was some team that named, I think it was part of the stadium after a lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about that?
I saw it on Twitter,
Okay.
but it was this old lady that had worked at the stadium for, and what team is it?
It was the White Sox.
Okay, yeah, the White Sox. She'd worked there for however many,
40
50.
plus years. It was like Loretta Lounge, and they renamed it to LaRussa Lounge.
Yeah,
He's
what do
been
you
their
guys think
coach
about
for
that?
2 months.
Well, wasn't he like a coach before that? I mean, I don't know the total history of LaRussa, but obviously he's not like a new guy.
Yeah,
He's been
around.
around, but
Yeah.
on the White Sox, has he been around?
I think that that's like it's a return to the South Side. Like
Okay.
I think that's
But
part
either
of it.
way,
Yeah, I'm
just gonna
not
change that?
justifying
No,
it.
yeah.
Like I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm not a LaRussa's an old school guy, you know? That's just like how it is. And so like I'm one of the people that thinks that baseball should get younger a little bit. I'm
Same
not
here.
opposed to it. Like don't get me wrong, I just was in Bob Melvin's dugout. He just passed LaRussa for the winningest manager. Like I was in the dugout for that game. Like he's a great manager. Like I don't think he needs to go necessarily, but it's just
yeah.
the game is ready to get younger, and these people that are locked in need to not be locked in.
When you say you want the game to get younger, what does that mean to the average person?
it means that
Just the way that it's presented to the public, or
no, I mean we've kind of seen it firsthand. People don't have a full understanding, but they in the NBA, when Zion Williamson gets drafted, he's gonna play. You're gonna see him on the court. That
Yeah.
year. A guy gets drafted in the MLB, and you don't hear about him for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Just
know,
in the minors
and
for a
so.
while.
And I get that has to happen to a certain extent, but it's also proving that we've seen Tatis and Vladdy Jr. and Acuna Jr. Soto, these guys are 23 and they're all the top, other than Soto, those other guys I named all leading the league in home runs. These guys can play. I mean, Kelnick now is he's struggling to figure it out, but he's also 21. So, but he can hit, he can do it. So it's just and the other guys that are in the league, it's not like they're clearly, hitting 350. There's not abundance of older guys that are hitting 350. So I just think they need to start getting younger people across the board, players,
Coaches.
umpires.
Yeah, umpires.
Everything. Umpires can't get fired.
Why?
There's because of the way they've agreed to their whatever. They're professors. They're teachers.
They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Once you're in 10 years, I mean, Joe West just umpired his 4,000th game or something.
And he got booed.
crazy.
What
He
if
got booed
does he
when there was-
suck?
I mean,
Why
I mean-
do people hate him?
Okay, here's the thing. At a certain point, I'm trying to think of an athlete like Derek Jeter. At a certain point, you're 38 years old, you just can't play defensively the way a 28-year-old or a 25-year-old could.
Yeah.
Joe West is 67 years old and he's got bad knees or bad ankles or whatever. He just
he
can't,
waddles around.
Yeah, he can't do his job
Yeah.
someone who is in good health and good shape can do their job. I'm sure he's still a fine umpire, balls and strikes. He still can but if I'm working a crew with him, like I have to do more work if I know he's a part of it because he can't move around. Like you go watch like Joe West highlights, like he's getting drilled by foul balls because he can't move out of the way. And like 2 years ago or a year ago, he fell on a player. You probably remember the clip. Like umpire falls on top of a player, and it affected the game because the guy couldn't do anything because this umpire's all of a sudden on top of me, and he's like big a dude. He's a big heavy guy. And he's like older, so it's like I don't want to just like. What am I going to do? Just buck the umpire off me so I can pop up and make the throw? It's like you had to stop the play because the umpire's like...
Wow, dude, that's so ageist of you, bro.
Yeah. I'm good with it.
You think because his age, that's why his knees are bad?
Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe he would have fallen on the player even if he was 20.
Dude, I remember one of my friends was giving me shit because when my parents moved to California, I was like, dude, there's all these places that are like 55 and older only, and like my parents can't live here because I live there. I'm like, that's so like, that's fucked up, man. Like, I can't believe that's like a thing. He's like,
wait,
bro,
like kick you out for not being old enough?
No, yeah, like
you just can't
it's like
move there.
it's essentially like a senior. It's essentially like a senior living, but it's like they're like senior neighborhoods.
It's like so you're not in like a home. It's a community.
Yeah,
that's like my parents. Their whole neighborhood, you have to be like 60 plus to buy a house there.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh,
in Palm Springs.
Yeah. So like that's essentially like what. But so it's like, but then like what the gray area of it is like. I mean, you guys still go to that house, and obviously they can still have like their family and stuff at that house. But it's like, at what point am I like there too much for it to be like, no, you're not. Like, so I just think like it was just funny. Like my friend gave me tons of like, I was like, dude, isn't that kind of fucked up? They're like, no, it's not fucked up. I was like, all right, well, like I'm just trying to like have somewhere to live, man. Like,
I have a question about umpires. How much of I mean, you probably hear like people talking in the dugout a little bit, but how much of a difference does it make having a certain umpire? Like, is there really that much of a strategy per umpire? Like, if Angel Hernandez is going to call a game, are they just in the dugout talking about that the whole time?
Mm-hmm. Because not the whole time, but like they're like, so the umpires discussion happens like right before the game, I guess. So they'll like, all right, who do we got? Like, oh, okay. And they'll like look at who's behind the dish or whatever, and they write it down so they know who to ask questions or talk to, so they can like, Trip, what are you doing? Like, Lance, what are you doing? And but yeah, like if you have a certain guy, it's just like, I mean, like I know as a fan, like if Angel Hernandez is behind the dish, it's like, who knows?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Is that guy iconic as like you never know what to like? Is he good? Is he like, do people hate him?
He's notoriously the worst. He's like he is like statistically the worst umpire in Major League Baseball, and like it's not. He's like a nice gentleman. He's a perfectly good man. It's just unfortunate that he happens to like somebody has to be the worst, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it just happens to be that it's him.
But he's really bad though.
But he's really adamant that he's not, and that's the part that's tough. Is that like, and it's like fine, you know what I mean? Like these umpires are great. Like they get the calls right, they really do more often than not. But they're not perfect.
Yeah,
like they miss just blatant ones. It happens. They get the really tough ones right, but they just miss some really obvious ones occasionally. There was like a game like when where does Brock Holt play? Or the Rangers. When the Rangers were in town, Brock Holt got a ball 4 call, and it was ball 4, and they rung him up, and it was like, no, like this is 2 balls off the plate, and they just rung him up, and the umpire knew he screwed up, and he let Brock Holt just rip into him.
Damn.
Because he knew he fucked up the call. Like, and then there was another one with like a check swing where like Tom Murphy checked, and he like, you could tell with his body language, he thought he was out. He like swung, he like closed his eyes, he tilted his head back. He took 2 steps out of the box, and they went down the line, and they said no, and the whole dugout was going. I mean, they were just like, and so like in those moments where like the umpires understand they mess up, the catcher will be like they'll ask the catcher or something like I missed that one, like is that one bad, like that bad? And he's like, yeah, you fucking missed that one, dude. Like,
can they not change it if
no?
As soon as the call is made, there's no changing it. Mm-hmm. Why is that? Because don't you think there are times where like you make a split-second decision and then immediately after you realize that like,
well, you don't want to let the reaction of the fans or the players change
but like
what your call is.
They don't. They'll let it sit for a second. You know what I mean? Like if they see a plate, they'll be like,
okay,
you
so
know what I mean?
They'll take the time.
Yeah, it's not like
as
soon as they think the out happens, they like put their hand up, or as soon as they think it's, you know what I mean? Because like think about it, like if you think he's safe at one moment, he could be out at another moment, and vice versa. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, or I guess not without. Like if he's out, he's out. But like if you think that like, oh, he's safe, like he could still get out
at some point,
at further down the line, like, theoretically or whatever. But
although I saw an umpire the other day, it was Seager sliding to third. I don't know if you're watching the game last night. the Rendon drops the ball as he tags him. So like the ball beats him there. He would have been out if he hangs on to it. The ball pops out. Seager didn't see the ball pop out. Umpire calls him out, turns his back, walks away. Seager just gets up and leaves, even though he should have just stayed on the base.
And then he gets tagged out.
And he gets tagged out. He ran out of the base path.
Oh, he got stepped too far out of the base path. That's on Seager. That's not.
It is, yeah.
Else, yeah.
But it's also like the umpire he didn't even. It was blatantly like right in front of him, and he just called him out and turned around and walked away.
Nah, that's on Seeks. Just you got to stay on the base. You got to be aware.
Like,
No.
as a Mariners fan, I want to blame the umpire.
Yeah, that's fair.
No,
but
it is on Kyle Seager though.
That's 100% your base runner.
We should clarify for people who haven't listened to the previous. We've had 2 other episodes with Joe, but Joe is the bat boy. Because did we say that in the pre-show?
We didn't really.
Yeah,
super clever. I'm the visiting. Well, for the next 3 days or.
By the time this is out,
Yeah, so I'm the visiting clubhouse bat boy for the Seattle Mariners. So like when a team comes to town, like when the not the Yankees because they have their own bat boy, but when the Rangers come to town, they'll bring a bag. It'll have a bunch of uniform and stuff and gear in it. I put it on and I do the bat boy duties for them while they're in town. And then when the next team comes, I do that. But it's not just like the bat boy itself. Like there's tons of other stuff that goes into it before and after. Just like laundry and just like all like stocking all the stuff, and it's the clubhouse is a house, so like it's whatever they need has to be there.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of errands.
How many people are there that are like basically also doing what you do? Like, are there like do you have like a partner who's like you and this person are like
there's my
doing
boss
the laundry and like
there's my boss, there's the like vice boss, there's the laundry guy, and then there's me.
Okay, so there's like 5 of you that are running around doing shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's 3 of us that are running around doing shit, and then my boss is doing whatever he has to do, and then there's the umpires guy who does the umpires for, like, he does whenever the umpires need, and then once the umpires are done, because there's only like 4 of them, so it's not like a huge thing.
Yeah.
Once they're done, then he comes over, and he usually does, like, the staff.
Okay.
So he'll do, like, the trainers and, like, the video guys and stuff.
And just if they need some random thing, he'll
mostly like he'll do like the laundry and like keep their rooms, like, so like we all kind of have our spaces that but like it's a lot of just laundry because like the guys go and work out, then they take off their then they go to BP, then they take off that, then they do then they go to the game, they wear the uniforms, they take off that, and then they shower like 2 or 3 different times throughout that.
So are you just spraying like hella shout on these uniforms? Or?
No, there's like insane chemicals that you've never heard of.
Probably that makes sense. That's what I would.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like there's this one spray that you just spray it on the uniform, it turns it black, and then you wash it and it comes out perfect.
What the fuck?
Wow.
And then like the grass stuff, you spray it on the grass stuff, and then you take like a white rag or like a Gatorade towel, and it just pulls off. So like the Gatorade towel gets all green, but all the green comes off.
And it's just easy. Like you.
It's not. I mean, it's elbow grease.
Oh, okay.
It's you gotta scrub it. But
Yeah.
I mean, like when you look at like. When you see a guy like just completely like when he does the thing with his belt and all the dirt just falls out and he like undoes his pants and it's like scooping dirt out, like I'm like, wow, how am I gonna get that out? Like, but it's just like you just soak it in water and it like comes out.
Yeah,
that's one of those things you just don't think about when you're watching a game. When you see players, like there's always a couple players. There's always just that scrappy second baseman that's diving for everything, and he just gets his uniform super dirty and like it looks really cool. But there's someone that's got to clean that.
Justin Turner. Or the guys that like leave their bat on their shoulder and they just cover their jerseys in pine tar.
Joe's just sitting there like,
dude, there's no like,
damn it.
There's no easy way to get that out. That's just that like the professional chemical is goof off.
Yeah, man.
And you just sit like you're not. It's not like you're just pulling it onto something else.
Yeah.
That's all the goof off does. You just spray it on there and you're like, okay, stick to this part of the towel, and you like fold your towel and you're just like continuously doing this. And it's like, okay, why am I doing this? Justin Turner's just going to put his bat right here tomorrow night and look this same spot. Like I should just leave it on there, but obviously you can't do that. But the other thing that like you were saying people don't think about is like, so when MLB switched over from Majestic to Nike, like none of us wear Majestic clothes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We all wear Nike. So we understand that like Nike's like Nike, right? But it's like, if you have something that's like so niche and it's like, hey, we're only making your guys' stuff, like we're going to make it right. Then all of a sudden Nike's like, hey, we're already doing everybody else's stuff. So like, this is how we do it. Like you guys signed up for it. Like this is what you're getting. So they went from like tailor making every single pair of pants to specifics of players to like, just pick one of these 6.
That sucks.
Because these 6 pants fit 99.7 of the players.
Yeah.
And so because of that, like it's fine. So then if you have these few guys that are like 6'8" and stuff like that, they're just kind of screwed. So the amount of people that just have Majestic pants with a Nike swoosh sewn onto the back is hilarious. And the Nike pants aren't as good. Like, they're worse. They fall apart. Yeah, they're terrible. The Nike uniform, I mean, they're not terrible, but like in terms of like durability, quality, they crank them out so fast and they can just get new ones all the time. They don't care about like it lasting. Like the Majestic stuff you could like repair and like you could stitch in a new thing and it would look good. But like a patch on the Nike thing, it's just like an iron. It looks like you like glued like a ramen noodles on there or something like that and painted it.
What's your favorite and least favorite task with working with like just basically with your job and just working with like professional people? Like, what's been the thing where you're like, oh fuck yeah, I get to do this, and then what's the thing where you're like, oh god,
like anything in the dugout? Like there's like the 3 hours in the dugout is like the coolest thing in the world. Like there's nothing that like would beat that. The worst part is probably just like carrying stuff. Like it's just like a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Like all the bags. Like if you're like, just imagine like a guy who has like every like gimmick and knick-knack and like stretchy thing and weighted ball and ankle weights and massage gun and everything, and he just packs it all. Like think of the people that just overpack, right? And then think of having like 3 of those people,
like
and
a
then
catcher's bag.
Probably. Or yeah, catcher's bags are that, but catchers are okay because they have 2 bags, so they split it up, and so it's like, yeah, I know your gear is in here and I know whatever, so it's like their bags are actually fine, and usually the catcher's bag has wheels.
That's nice.
Double win. But like some of the pitchers, man, like they just have so much stuff. Or the guys that bring like tons of vitamins and supplements and stuff. It's just like annoying to deal. But like, yeah, you just like throw it on your shoulder and like I'll just have like bruises like all over my arms like at the end of.
Do you feel like you've been like? I mean, I assume that these days seem like really long days and it's like a grind. You're always moving. Are you like? Do you have a Fitbit or anything like that, or like Apple Watch? Because I'd be curious how many calories you burn
taking
in a day.
Crazy steps.
I could probably check my phone sometime, but like I also like don't get to use my phone during the game, and I don't have any way to track anything during the game because I can't use any like electronics.
Oh yeah.
Like even Apple Watches are no go. I
Thanks,
probably
Astros.
can't.
/ Red
they
Sox.
don't. You can't even have your phone like with you
in the dugout.
Yeah.
No, fuck no.
I didn't even know that. Even like the people who aren't on the team. Can't
Yeah,
because they could use it.
I could just be sitting there like talking to be like, yo, my mom says he's throwing a fastball here.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Dude, they had to turn off the TVs in the pen, right? The Axe body spray T-Mobile pen or whatever.
Yeah.
Because if you're standing at the bullpen phone on the visitor side and you look into the bullpen, you can see 9 television screens on no delay of the game.
Whoa.
Like,
interesting.
And the bullpen catcher pointed that out. Like, I think the Houston bullpen catcher pointed it out. Like, or whatever it was. Like, this is like probably like the 7th series of the year. It's like, man, like, how did MLB miss this? Like,
that's crazy. So are there people who are like security people that are like that's their job to make sure that everyone like
MLB personnel
like aren't banging trash cans and shit?
Well, or just to make sure
like
that people aren't like
integrity.
bringing electronics into the dugout and stuff.
Yeah. There's like a guy that makes sure. Well, they have official or like what's the word, like approved iPads that they can use. So they get like 8 or something like that, or 12. I don't know. So it's kind of weird, like walking around like with all the guys like watching like their last at bat on an iPad. Like,
oh, that's dope. So they can
frame.
come back and just immediately like watch what.
Like 2 batters later, you can see how bad the umpire like fucked up the call.
Do they get any like special angles or anything? Like special POVs that?
No,
like,
I mean
aren't
nothing
just the broadcast.
Nothing that you haven't seen before. You might like not see it very often, but they get all the Supermo shots and stuff like that. It's just like maybe the broadcast won't show you. Like I could go, but I could, I guess yes and no, but no, there's no like this camera is only accessible to
for the
team.
players.
Yeah,
okay.
Interesting. Nothing like that.
Okay, I have a question. If you don't want to answer it, that's okay. So there was the big article that just came out about the sticky stuff on balls, pitchers using sticky stuff. Basically, that just increases spin rate, which makes your pitches move more, go faster, whatever.
And just for people who don't really watch baseball,
well, so no,
like that's
what it does is that there's. I'll go ahead and kind of break this down because it's like a little. Actually, give me that one. So. Like the point of the sticky stuff is, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see my finger, but it's essentially so that you're gluing your fingertip so that it's staying to the ball until the absolute last possible moment, so you get that final flick.
Spin. You can even hear like a snap coming off their hands sometimes.
I mean that they're exaggerating that. You can't hear shit when you're on the fucking field.
Maybe when it was like silent on like in the bubble last year.
Dude, maybe, but like you also just hear like, listen.
Or Zach Greinke just.
My hands are just sweaty, dude. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like it's whatever. And they're already, I mean, like pine or sunscreen and rosin is legal. There's nothing like you can put sunscreen on your arm and rosin is on the mound. There's nothing they can do about that. It just is what it is.
But pine tar specifically,
pine tar is not the issue
bunch
either.
of other stuff.
Pine tar is not the issue either. Pine tar.
But that's not allowed, right?
There's two things. Here's the thing. Let me go back to what I was trying to say.
I
So
could talk about this all day.
So the issue isn't that players are using something to get enhanced grip. It's the issue is that players are super gluing their finger to the ball so that they can get an increase, so they can keep their finger on longer and get that increased spin rate. And that's what is like cheating. You're not doing it so that you can have a better feel and a better grip for the ball. You're doing it to gain additional spin, like additional velocity, additional rotations per minute. And like there shouldn't be an issue. They have the rosin bag up there so that when you're hella sweaty and your hands are wet and you can't grip the ball, you can go up there and you can dry your hands
like chalk.
off. Yeah, it's like chalk for gymnasts or for it's just like anything that people use to like get their hands good.
That's normal.
It's just a normal thing. Like, okay, we're professional sports, like or professional athletes, and so like the control is important. But like, yeah, like what is that? I don't know how well you can see it, but like I don't know.
Guys, for those of you on the audio platform, there's like a smudge, right?
But like I don't like what pitch am I gripping where I'm holding the ball like that? I don't know.
That could be a two-seam fastball.
It could, but like
it could be like a weird.
Why are you putting that
curveball.
much on your?
Could
Maybe
be a
who
lefty
knows?
curveball.
It could be a lefty. I didn't think about
Lefty
it that.
curveball maybe.
Either way,
Yeah. Either way.
the point is that like I'm not the only one that's seen it. You could catch a foul ball and you could see it. You could you go buy a ball from the store. You could get one of these balls.
Yeah. So what's your stance? Like, you think it's not really an issue, or what is and is not an issue to you? Like, what are the things that should be illegal and what, like, should they be allowed to use pine tar?
It shouldn't be not discussed. It shouldn't be like we're trying to like the guy that got his hat taken off the other night.
That was by fucking Joe West.
Yeah, it was by Joe West crew, but yeah. But it's like, what are we doing?
You think that's just pointless for them to take that?
Taking his hat.
Dude, go tonight, or anybody right now. Like if you're watching, maybe this clip is on Instagram, and just go watch like pictures, like Pitch Ninja or something like that. Like every single one of these dudes' hats looks funny. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm unpacking these hats. I'm unpacking these hats. Kikuchi adjusts his hat like 55 times an outing. Like I don't work on that side. I have no idea. I've never talked to the guy in my entire life. But just as a fan, like I like the team. But it's like, I don't. Why is he adjusting his hat that much? And there's only there's only like a couple of like guys put it on their hat, guys put it in their glove, guys put it on their jersey, like on the inside of their jersey. So when they like wipe their face, then they have it under
I've
here.
also seen palm of the hand, but that's
a little aggressive,
obvious.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, the point is that like it's not an issue to the teams, because otherwise, if it was, you'd have every single manager pointing out the guy. But they understand that their guy on their side might be doing something, and they're okay with it, because
so it's one of those things where like it's kind of like how in like sports where steroid, like bodybuilding, where like the top, like you have to do steroids, and then as a result, since the one guy wins and does steroids, everyone else is like, we have to do steroids. My point is that like if everyone's doing it, why don't they just make it like legal?
The only people that are doing like the MLB is just doing a bad job handling it. That's really all it is. They could have come out and said like, hey, like we don't feel like we've done it. They could go and say we've done an investigation and we don't feel like what we found is like whatever, you know, or what realistically they should do is just create a basic substance, call it whatever, you know, go find out what these guys are using. Cause like these dudes are finding scientists. Like you can go, I'm not like
teams hire chemists.
I'm not revealing anything like this isn't groundbreaking stuff. You can go read about the Angels clubhouse guy. You can go read. You go to Trevor Bauer's Twitter where he broadcasts this stuff about him searching, like looking to hire scientists to figure out how to get a substance to create a substance to do what I was talking about. Something that will help his finger stay on the ball until the last possible moment. And he's out open air, like doing this out in public.
He can just do that. Just talk about that.
He did 3 years ago, and now he signed a $200 million deal.
And now his spin rate's through the roof.
He literally said, like, I'm going to start cheating because it's the same thing that Barry Bonds did, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I've won 3 MVPs and like no one wants to pay me. Like if McGuire and Sosa are just going to pump themselves up so they can hit homers, then like I'm going to get mine. I got like 4 years left to get this bag. And that was like in Ken Griffey Jr.'s book. Like that's not.
That Bonds is doing steroids.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, that's what he said to Griffey. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It is what it is. But I mean, like, Bonds is a Hall of Famer with steroids or not. He won 3 MVPs before he took steroids. That's the point. Like, he went to Ken Griffey Jr. or whatever in the book or whatever the thing was, and he told him that, and that's like in 1999 or 2000. Like, he's already established by then.
So, obviously, like right now, we're kind of in the era of voting in Hall of Famers for the steroids. That era is kind of slowly like they're just not going to make in the Hall of Fame, like Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, those guys.
I think.
Where do you think the sticky stuff is gonna?
That's not going to affect anything.
But let's say like in 5 years they completely outlaw it. Is that going to be the new steroids?
Absolutely no way to go back and prove any of it.
I agree.
These steroids, I can take a blood test and be like, look, man, this substance, we said no, and you did it. MLB doesn't even know what these guys are putting on the baseball. It's like boiled down Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
No, I'm like not kidding. Like
Literally
it's like mixtures of like Dawn dish soap, like boiled down Coca-Cola and like peanut butter, and like they like boil it down and like it gets sticky, and they like leave it in the sun, and then they like freeze it, and then they like do something else to it.
But then, so how is that also different than in throwing a spitball? Because they outlawed spitballs.
Dude, if you get caught again, baseball is so much you just don't. If you don't get caught, then no one says anything.
Literally, yeah.
That's like, I mean, like literally one of the stats is stealing.
Yeah.
Stealing bases.
Why do you?
And then
think
you get caught stealing. That's like it's those are the stats. Like those are the terms in baseball.
Why is baseball so secretive with so many like? Because when you think of like the NBA. There's not like there's some rules that people are secretly trying to break or some plays that you can't do that people are doing behind the people's backs. Like
I think in every sport there's like to some degree there's that like
there was with like football, there was like Tom Brady and like the balls being kind of flat and like people that type of tampering. But baseball just seems to have so much more.
It's a little less. It's a little more impersonal. Like in basketball, like you're up against these guys. Like if someone's in your face, like someone's in your face. Like baseball is like kind of like two dogs on a leash, you know, and they're just barking at each other from the fence post.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, you get to first base and then you chat. You get to third base and then you chat. But like, if I'm an outfielder, like I'm not talking to anybody unless I get on base. Yeah. So you're maybe having, and how many times you get on base a game? 3 if you're having a fucking crazy game, right? So. Like you're only having a few interactions a game, realistically. So the catchers usually are like pretty personable, like kind of goofy guys because they talk with everybody.
Yeah.
And then you're having your interactions when you go up to the plate. But like in terms of like, you know, like there's friends and stuff because of like countrymen and like
former teams or
whatever. Former teams and dudes coming from like, you know, like the Dominican guys are all tight, the Venezuelan guys are all tight and stuff like that. But there's no banana boat bros in the league, like with like, you know, Marcus Stroman and like, you know, different players. Like you don't hear like Josh Donaldson and I don't know.
Mookie Betts just being boys.
Yeah, or you don't hear about like Donaldson and like Kershaw like going on hunting trips, like or like Trout and Bryce Harper like they don't like vacation together.
Yeah.
Like these guys are all like individuals.
Do you think that makes the rivalries more intense or less intense than other sports where they're more like face to face?
Think about the this is like not going to be very good for anybody else, but like think about how the Issaquah rivalry was different than the Eastlake rivalry.
Okay.
Like Issaquah was like you wanted to beat them so you could like beat them. Like Eastlake you wanted to kill them.
Yeah.
Like you didn't like you know what I mean? Like you liked Issaquah. Like you didn't dislike, you didn't hate him. Like, but like you did not give a shit about Eastlake. Like if Eastlake won, like you're fucking pissed. But if like Issaquah won, it's like, well, hey man, like at least Ryan got the win, you know. Good for Ryan, like you know, like they.
So what's your comparison here? What's your analogy? That
like,
which one's Issaquah? Baseball?
No, baseball is like Eastlake. Like everything is Eastlake because like we don't really have those like we're not like you don't really know them. It seems like there's a couple of guys that know people from playing in the minors and stuff like that.
But you think it's because they don't know the other players as well as other sports, you think that makes them like hate them more?
Yeah, I just think it's like it's like a bit.
Well, yeah, because the NBA, I feel like there's just like you were saying.
Like it seems like a lot of them are like friends.
It's such a community. There's only 12 guys, and there's not as much turnover. Like if a guy gets hurt or whatever, like you're not having. Like think of how many guys that you've seen like come up for the Mariners this year. Like we've had like a lot. Like if you're Kyle Seager or if you're one of like the 5 guys that's like been there,
you've seen a lot of players.
You've seen a lot of guys. Like there's only like 5 guys that have been playing in every single game.
Yeah.
There's only like 3 guys that are going to be like missing a good portion of like an NBA season at most. Like you're not having 8 new guys on a team in a given year unless, it's like LeBron's team or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also like every single game after an NFL game or after an NBA game, you see both teams coming out and shaking hands, talking, whatever, hanging out. Baseball,
they're gone, bro.
See ya. And if you win, you're high-fiving your team.
Maybe like you do a couple little daps up, and most of the guys are already in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Half the team is not even. Guys don't even come to the game. If you're a pitcher and you're not pitching that day, like if you pitch the day before, like you're not walking out into the dugout until the 4th inning.
That's what's so
I
wild
thought you just
to me.
hang in the bullpen or something.
No, dude, they're just chilling back there. Sergio Romo, who's like a closer, he walked into the dugout like in the 4th inning one day, and then just like walked out to the bullpen like in between innings. It's like, bro, like you know what time we started? Like, like he's just taking a shower, like getting dressed, like he's just taking his time, getting warmed up, like.
As long as he comes in and does his job.
I wonder how much of an effect, like
most people don't even wear their jerseys.
Like under their
if you see a guy wearing anything but a jersey, he's not wearing a jersey. No, none of the coaches wear their jerseys. They all just stay hung up.
Yeah.
So like you'll go out for a game and like the 9 guys that are going to be playing will wear their jerseys. If it's hot, a bunch of guys will be wearing their jerseys. All the bullpen guys will have jerseys. None of the starters that aren't pitching that day will have jerseys on. None of the coaches.
Do you think, in your opinion, there's something to that? Kind of like you guys were talking about how the Mariners just have a lot of players cycle through, and just there's only like 5 guys that are there consistently and like that are kind of the foundation of the team, and the rest of the team is kind of cycling. Does that, like, not even from a talent level, just a pure like team camaraderie perspective, and like that must make it hard for an organization to like grow and to kind of like flourish when there's so many moving parts? Like, I don't know, have you ever noticed that? Does it seem like certain teams where like are more disconnected than others? Or like you said, if some of the players don't even show up, some people have their jerseys on, some don't. To me, as like if I was a player, I would feel like disconnected from the rest of the team. Or if like 5 of the people I met got sent back down to the minors, now there's 5 new guys. I don't fucking know these guys. Like, do you think that has an impact on the teams and like the way they play?
Yeah, I think so. So like here's like a weird like I think this might answer. So like we were looking for a lost bag, and like everyone has like the same kind of bags, right? Because you get team issued stuff. And so like a guy was like, I think it might be in this guy's locker. I was like, dude, just go ask him if that's your bag. Like, what? It's your teammate. Like, why is this like a weird thing? Like, to me, that like blew my, like, if any team I was ever on, like, never have a problem with asking like anybody pretty much anything, especially like, yo, is that mine? Like, but the fact that the fact that like we had to like it took us like 2 hours to find this bag because this dude just didn't want to ask if it was this other guy's bag. Like, so like, you know what I mean? Like, there's definitely like a level of like not like we're not all like on the super homies yet, because like there is so much turnover, and like and also just the way that it works, right? Like if you're a pitcher in the bullpen, like you don't hang out with the team except for like when you guys eat, but then also like throwing is at like 3:30, and then that's on the field, and then BP, and then like they shag for BP, and
yeah, like there's probably a lot of
position groups.
There's probably a lot of players that like never associate with other groups of players.
Yeah,
or very rarely.
That's what I'm learning.
Pitchers are kind of the bullpen.
Like,
I feel like the bullpen,
it's like kind of like teams within a team.
The moment you get to interact is like when you're a pitcher that you come out of the game, and it's only cool if you had a good outing. Because if you had a bad outing, then like you just pout.
Yeah.
You're not like, people are supportive and stuff, but it's like, it just depends. Like these guys are professionals, but like they also like, I've got a broken bat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Do you want to grab that real quick so we can explain it?
Let's get the story behind this bat.
So this is Jose Ramirez's bat.
If you guys don't know who that is, he's a really great player.
He's a third baseman for the Indians.
He won second in the MVP last year.
This is number 11. The funny thing is that it's actually like all the bats always are like special issued for players or whatever. So it actually says Rajai Davis, which is not the player who uses.
And he was on the Indians like what, 4 years ago?
I don't know.
That's what's weird.
Why is he using his bat?
He just likes it, I guess. He used somebody else's bat too, but yeah. So he had like a bunch of doubles with this bat, and
you got the gloves too?
Yeah, I took the gloves. It's broken.
Were those just in the garbage?
Yeah. So he struck out. He took it by like the barrel and like smashed it on the ground this way, and that's what broke it. And then the part that like is like absolutely freakish to me is that he ripped his batting gloves off like his hand straight up, and they like
So
he ripped it straight off of his hand.
For those of you listening who can't really see it, Joe is basically explaining that the glove was on his hand, fully strapped on, and he just grabbed the glove and ripped it off without undoing the strap.
And these things are like hard to rip. That's actually impressive.
Like he grabbed it he grabbed like the bottom of his palm and then just pulled the glove off.
Dude, that is some strength right there.
Like you know those like warm up snap on pants that like NBA players wear like right before they get in the game. They're just like whoosh. Like that was like the level of effortlessness that he like removed his back gloves.
That is just a strong ass human being.
One of the gloves just completely shredded from like the thumb all the way, like the whole palm just kind of like ripped off and just sort of peeled off, and the other one like the strap literally just snapped. Like the whole thing is Velcro. The Velcro all stayed, and the rest of like the material just ripped off.
Okay, I have a question for you. What is the worst? Obviously, don't name names, but what is the worst tantrum you've seen in the dugout?
There was a pitcher who went out. So like here's the thing. Like guys will blow up real quick, but to me like the worst one is like, all right, like you're gonna snap, fine, like get it out in like 60 seconds. Mm-hmm. But like the dudes who are just like keep going
for like 5 minutes.
Oh, if not longer, you know what I mean? Like or like levels to their tantrum, right? So like the one that was really bad, there was a pitcher, and he got taken out when it's like, yeah, maybe you should have got left in a little bit longer, let you finish that out, and then like 7 runs came in, and like every 2 runs he's just like going down, and like you can just hear him like, and he like broke a trash can, and like, or not, I don't know if he broke anything, but. There's like a door that just gets bashed. Like there's just like this one door that's just notorious for getting like destroyed. But like you can just hear him just smashing shit down there. Like, and it's just like.
What's the go-to tantrum? Is it like kick a barrel and throw a helmet, or like
it's take a bat? It's take a bat to this door.
Oh, yeah, to the door.
Damn,
that'll do it. There's a pitcher that I think he was my F a couple weeks ago. The guy in the Braves that I think he punched the bench and he broke his hand.
Plesac?
No, Yanoa.
Oh, Plesac broke his hand aggressively removing his shirt.
What?
Yeah.
How do you
wait? What just happened?
It happened like in the last so and so. Yeah.
God damn.
So speaking to Zach Plesac, that's a little funny caveat one. So one of the things that I have to do as part of my job is like run errands, and so like when people need something, so like one guy, for example, like he's like, "Hey man, I bought a bunch of stuff and I don't have any room for it. Can you go buy me a suitcase?" And I'm like, "Right now?" He's like, "Yeah, I need a suitcase before I leave." I'm like, "Okay." So I had to drive to Ross, like, you know, and this is like, you got to remember, like, I have to, like,
the fucking errand
I literally still have to, like, do all, like, I still have to go fill coolers for, like, BP at, like, 4 o'clock, and this is, like, at, like, 3:15. And so I'm, like, I'll have to drive all the way to Ross, like, I'm standing there, there's, like, the longest, like, wait ever to just buy a suitcase. There's, like, 2 people working, 8 people standing around, like, counting people walking in.
Joe's like, guys, I'm the Mariners bat boy.
Yeah, I was like, I got a flight, okay? I got a suitcase, good plane, okay? Got a game to play.
Major League Baseball?
Yeah. MLB, you heard of it? So yeah, I get the suitcase, bring it back. What was the other, the Zach Plesac. So, we unpack the bag. This is like late at night. They drop all their stuff off at like, 2 a.m. or whatever. Like, we're unpacking their bags, and like all the bags come in, you put all the gear in all the spots, unpack all the clothes, hang it all up, wash all the dirty clothes, hang all that up. We're unpacking everything, and the starting pitcher for tomorrow doesn't have any spikes.
Oh no.
He has no cleats in his bag. There's no cleats in the wet bag. There's no cleats anywhere. So they had to special order like cleats to like a Renton Dick's Sporting Goods. I had to drive in the morning to go get them and bring them to him, and then he goes and throws 7 2/3 no hitter.
Shoved on the Mariners.
Yeah, he just completely shoved it, and he doesn't wear high tops or he doesn't wear low tops, and the only Adidas they had were low tops. They had like 1 pair of spikes and 1 pair of like plastics that we gave both of them. He didn't like either of the shoes. He ended up wearing like 1 of each or something like that, which is like the weirdest thing because it's like a 13 and a 14 plastic and a spike.
Baseball players are weird.
Are there? I've heard how like there's certain NBA players who wear a new pair of shoes literally every game.
Batting gloves.
Is that they wear new gloves every game?
I mean, maybe not every game, but they have enough to wear every fucking game, dude.
Yeah.
I unpack, like, I remember, like, when the White Sox came to town, which was, like, these guys just broke spring, so, like, they were coming from Arizona, but, I think it was, like, Nick Madrigal and some other guy. Nick literally had, like, 16 pairs of batting gloves. Dude, it was insane.
Wow.
I don't think I've had 16 batting gloves my entire life.
Dude, when I saw, like, the 56, like, or, like, the 65, like, 99, like, tag on every single one of them, I was like, I mean, I know he's not paying for it, but it's just like, damn, like this is like $1,000 worth of batting gloves in my hand.
Yeah,
like it's just like this is absurd.
This might be a tough question, but what is the one thing that, like, since you started this job that has just surprised you the most, whether it be about baseball or about how people act or about, like, you didn't know that teams function this way? Like, is there anything where you just, like, you never really expected it?
It's really just who you know.
Yeah.
There is not a whole lot that, like, separates a lot. I mean, like, a lot of these people, like,
in terms of players, you mean skill
no,
players,
no,
or
no,
just
no,
mean
no,
in life?
No, like the role, like the coaches. Like, the coaches is, like, it's like a manager is, like, important, obviously, but, like, at the end of the day, like, to be, like, how am I trying to say this? I don't want
like
to
a bench coach or something you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're, like, if people like you and you can do the job, like, that is more important than someone who can do the job better than you.
Yeah.
I think I've seen, because at the end of the day, if you can do the job slightly better, but I like being with him slightly more, like, 162 times out of the year or whatever, like, I'm going to probably take the guy that I enjoy being around a little bit more.
Yeah.
If the difference isn't going to be that game changing. And then, like, just the fact of, like, nobody leaves. Like, once you get this, like, that's why these jobs don't, that's why everyone's so old. Like, no one wants to leave.
Yeah.
Because it's, like,
Pretty good gig.
It is.
and that's what I'm thinking too, right? Like, it took me this long to get there, so it's like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Like, when they're like I got promoted already, and so I'm not going to be a bat boy anymore. So after the Twins series, I'm moving to the laundry guy, which is, like, cool, but, like, also sucks. 'Cause all I ever want to do is be the bat boy. So it's like, but I'm also, like, not gonna, like, I was like, do I have to do it? And they're like, yeah. I was like, all right. Fine,
Yeah.
fine. Sorry, I asked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I'm not gonna say anything, even though, like, I have not really any interest in doing that. Like, it's not what I wanted. It's not what I was thinking I was gonna do when I signed up for it. But it's like, well, like, I'm not gonna
You're working your way up.
Yeah, this is how it goes. Like, this is what it is now. So it's
Yeah.
like, and it's like, I'm not gonna change jobs. Like, it's just like, it's fine. Like, I don't get to be in the dugout. That's pretty much the only difference now. Instead of being in the dugout, I'm folding towels, watching the game. So.
But are you still doing all the other stuff though during the game?
More,
but you're just
more
also
stuff,
doing laundry.
I still do the same. I mean, like, yeah, like, like, basically, like, I do the laundry guy currently does the laundry until the laundry's done, and then he starts hanging it up with us. And so, like, and then unpacks are the same thing. Like, he starts the laundry, and then he comes and unpacks bags, and then he comes and takes it out, and then so it's a little more work, but
Yeah, that's interesting that you said it's all about who you know. Like, there's been so many times in my life where I've noticed situations or heard people talking where they're like, oh yeah, like I need someone who can do this, and then someone's like, oh yeah, like, I think my buddy can probably do that, and then they're just like, okay. And my point is that, like, there's so many times where you, like, fill a position or you have someone work with you or do this for you, not because, like, you think they're particularly good at it, but just because they're close, reliable, you already know them.
I'm the first bat boy that doesn't know the other bat boy. Like, forever, every single bat boy has just been like
a friend or
yeah,
someone.
it's just
that's
like
wow, that's crazy.
It's what it's like a Plinko board or whatever. It's like ting 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 ting.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. And occasionally it just, like, shoots off and finds, like they have this guy, like, I don't remember what his name is, but, like, he didn't play baseball.
What?
I'm like, how do you have this job and you, like, don't know, you don't watch baseball or don't follow baseball? Like, first of all, like, that would just be hard.
Yeah.
Like, you have to learn a sport and perform it, like, in a professional level, like, in a professional setting. Like this dude fell asleep on the bench. Like, it was like one of the stories they tell us. And, like, I forgot to pack 2 jerseys. This, like, and I was telling you guys the story before, and I had to overnight it. And I was like, oh my God, it's incredibly expensive. Like, I don't know what COVID has done to shipping, but my God. But, like, it was like I packed up the whole bag and forgot to take 2 jerseys off the hangers and put it up there. But, like, they had a guy forget to pack, like, all of the gear that's down below, like the bats, the helmets, all the catcher's gear, all the balls, like,
you didn't pick the bag up thinking, like, something doesn't feel right here.
Yeah, I didn't pick up the bag thinking, this feels 2 jerseys light.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
This guy forgot to do everything.
God.
And it's like, I'm like, where did you find these guys when, like, I was literally in the stands, like, yelling onto the field, how do I get this job? Like, for 10 years.
Dude,
someone heard it, so.
It's funny you mentioned that. Like, this is obviously not the same. It's, like, a little different, but when I worked with the Houston Outlaws, I had never played Overwatch in my life, and I never even watched Overwatch. And so the first, like, even, like, I was only with that team for 6 months, but, like, even, like, 2 months in, I was just then, like, I knew then all the names of the maps and, like, the names of the different heroes and stuff. But, like, it took me for like a month and a half. I had no fucking clue what I was watching when they were playing.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be so weird if you're just a bat boy and you don't even know what's happening on the field.
But you have no idea who these guys are.
Yeah.
Which I guess, like, in a way is like what they want, because they just want someone that's just invisible. And for me to be like a fanatic and be like I couldn't get over Miggy being Miggy. Like, that's like the one thing I just like couldn't. Like, Albert Pujols I was pretty chill with, but like Miggy, I was just like, hey Miggy. Like, I was just like a little kid, man. Like,
was that like, your biggest fanboy moment yet?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Trout, I've had interactions with Trout as a fan, so like Trout to me isn't as whatever, and he's like pretty cool. Like, he's just a cool guy.
He seems like just a pretty normal person.
Okay, so the thing about like Mike Trout is like you imagine him to be like whatever is like in your head about how perfect he could be. It's like it's better than you imagine. Like, it's really what it is. I mean, he's like the perfect human being.
Yeah.
Like, he pays for all, like every night he buys like dinner for the team, even though there's like a meal already like provided. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna buy sushi. Like, I'm gonna buy pizza. Like, make sure you get like a ton of the garlic nuts. I want a bunch of the garlic nuts. Like, and like he takes care of all of it. And then like
That's
at the end of the trip, it's like, what's my bill? And then it's like, okay, here's money. I'm like, that's a lot more than the bill.
Yeah.
Well, when you got like $500 million contract.
But that's what I mean. Like, it's not even, but like like it's just like what he's like. Oh yeah, that's like what I have. Like, that's part of it. Like, the team is paying me this, but I'm paying, like, I'm taking care of my team because of it. And so it's like
that's awesome.
that yeah, I agree. Like, that's awesome too. And like, but his routine is like, I get there, I don't work out because I don't need to because I'm Mike Trout. I might stretch, or maybe like I wouldn't even call it working out because it doesn't look like it's effortless. He just goes in there and he moves. Like, he'll pick things up and move, but he's just like, it does not look like he has to try.
He's just a different.
And then he goes in the cage for like an hour, and no one else goes in the cage. So he just like has the cage for an hour, which is maybe why the team doesn't hit so well. He's taking a ball.
Oh, they don't go in because he's in?
I mean, I'm being like a little,
regardless?
sarcastic, but like maybe he'll go in there and take 15 swings, and the next guy will step up and take 5, and then he'll step back up there and take like 15 swings, and the next guy will go in there and take 5.
It's almost like if you hit more, you'll be the best player in baseball.
But his workout isn't his workout is swinging the bat.
Yeah.
And then he goes and he does his tub time with his son, and then that's it.
So like, you obviously don't see these players when they're in their hometowns. You see them when they're in Seattle, on like game days and stuff. But
they still have like pretty similar facilities.
Okay.
I mean, like, it's dumbed down a little bit, but
like, you make it kind of sound like he doesn't, like, does he work hard? Does Mike, like, at this point in Mike Trout's career, would you say he works hard, or is he just fucking gifted? And
maybe people don't understand like what an hour in the cage means.
Is that like a fucking?
It's a
That's
lot.
like, yeah,
It's a
like,
lot.
so like you can't really see, like, my hands are like kind of like blistery a little like calloused or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you guys have more.
I mean,
calloused.
a little bit.
Just I don't know, when you're working out, whatever. Like, you kind of see that. Like, Jose Ramirez, his hands are just like his hand is a blister.
Yeah.
Like, their hands are just blisters. But like Mike Trout, like, doesn't have any, like, his skin is fine.
Yeah.
He's just
Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, it's just
different-
God created this man
For baseball.
No, literally. I mean, like, literally, like, he is like so perfect of a baseball player. And like, I haven't seen like, I mean, I've only been with like a third of the year, but like, for all the different players, like, I mean, like, he's exactly what you would like, even Albert Pujols, like, or some of these guys you expect to be kind of a dick. Miggy was like still cool, but like you kind of said, like, like, maybe he's kind of like, maybe he could probably be like working a little harder to like try to get the most out of, like, and be the best he could be.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like, you can't ask anything more of Mike Trout. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is.
that's sad to me though that he's like, it's awesome to hear, because I mean, I respect Mike Trout. I think he's the greatest baseball player right now, but it really sucks that he's that good of a person, that perfect of a baseball player, the best player in baseball, and he's on the Angels.
Like, are there any guys that you just like really liked that you didn't expect, or anyone like
Adam
who's
Eaton.
your
Adam Eaton was
Adam
pretty
Eaton's
cool.
your
That was-
favorite person?
No, I wouldn't say. Well, you didn't let me finish. You said that after. Adam Eaton was cool because when I unpack all the helmets, one of the things, like, unloading all the helmets, he's like certain that there was 2 bags of Red Man in his just like dip, like the dip from the Sandlot that they eat, and they all go, ooh.
Yak everywhere.
Yeah. And so he swears that he puts it in there every time, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to call you a liar because it's not what you are. Like, I don't doubt that you are. You're a very particular person. I think that maybe it could have gotten taken out and thrown away last night, and maybe you didn't see that it was on the bench. But I'll take responsibility. So I just, like, owned up to it. And like, then I had to go and buy him the next day, like at 9 a.m., like 3 bags of Red Man. And it's just like a cool little story. It's just like little stories like that. Same thing with like the police sack, like with the cleats. Like, and then he had like the great outing. Like he was like the total homie. And then he was like, "Who's this girl over there?" Like in the skirt. And he was asking about like one of the Mariners like, employee girls. He's like, "What's her name?" And I was like, I told her what her name was and stuff like that. He's like, "My guy." I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, just literally told you what her name was. Like,
yeah.
But
that's cool that they.
And then I guess like an unexpected one, like Matt Harvey. I thought he was gonna be like a total douchebag, but he was actually like super cool and like was talking to me like a lot.
Nice.
Because like some of the pitchers, like it just depends on like the guys that are like either off days or the guys that are gonna be like chatting with you, or the DHs. So he was pretty cool. Nate Lowe was super cool. He had like a really, really bad outing against the Mariners. Like he just a really tough series. And he kept like he's just like every day he was like, "Dude, we got to figure out how to get some hits." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I don't."
He'd say that to you?
Yeah, he'd ask me, he's like, "Dude, how am I gonna get some hits?"
I was like, "I don't know, man."
Like,
And I'd like try different things like every time before the game, and I'd be like, he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm pouring on the hits, dude." So he's like, "I like it," and then he'd fucking strike out 3 times. I'm like, "Shit." And so he actually ended up giving me a bat because he struck out like again. He just had like, and then he went and smashed his bat, and like the handle of it broke. So it's like a perfect bat except for like just on the knob it's chipped. And I was like, I always have this way of asking like what people want me to do with the broken bat to try to like set like I can't ask for it, but I have to like present it in a way that they could offer it.
What do you say?
What would you like me to do with this? Or where would you like me to put this? Or like, do you want this? Or where do you want this?
And so that one, did you ask for that, or you just got that out of the, like, did he give it to you, or you just?
He gave that one to the trash can.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So I took that out of the trash can
gave it to
later.
you, so
yeah.
it was like a little pass off. Yeah.
Like he smashed that bat, threw the bat in the trash can. One glove, trash can. Second glove, trash can. He went out to the field. I pulled it all out of the trash can.
So just like,
You're like, this trash can
take these
doesn't
out.
deserve this. Yeah.
I'm not letting that get thrown away.
Yeah,
It's
no,
fucking-
man.
fuck that, dude.
I don't blame you.
It's not all about who you know, but like in my head, like what I was trying to say was like, it's like you imagine it like the ESPN Top 100, like who's the next best available coach? Like then they just grab that guy. Where it's like, nah, it's really like, who do I know that can do this job?
Yeah.
Who do I think would be good?
it's. I feel like it's just the
Lean
same
it- lean it a
coaches
little
that
bit.
get passed around. It's like that in every sport too.
Yeah.
A lot of just the same guys getting passed around and then not working, and then they just keep getting passed around, and
Yeah.
they all suck.
Yeah, like there's probably a ton of coaches out there that would just in terms of pure like record. Like there's a lot of managers or coaches for any professional sport that would be better than some of the current coaches, but they just won't become a coach.
Yep.
Yeah. And the other thing is right now we're seeing like a big shift in baseball where it's like, like when I was in the Cleveland dugout, like it's a lot of old school guys, it's not a lot of like analytics and sabermetrics. Then when I'm in the Oakland dugout, they've got the pitch splits and every advanced stat printed out, color coded, and like their whole dugout wall is like it looks like the meme of like he's pointing up on the thing with all the strings connected and stuff like that. He's like trying to solve a case. I mean, they have like everything that you could possibly imagine. It's like 25 internet tabs of like Baseball Reference pulled up.
Well, I feel like that's why the A's. I feel like the A's were one of the teams that like started that with like the
Yeah,
Billy
well,
Beane was one of the first people.
and
to
that
do
was so that's another funny thing. Like, so people. I bet a lot of people, or at least like more people, have seen Moneyball at least like than like maybe watch baseball. And so like they talk about how that team like doesn't spend any money. Like it's the poorest team,
They
and
literally
that
don't.
is not a joke. I mean, everything that they own is old.
Their
It is-
stadium.
But no, I mean, like that's one thing, right? Like for big purchases, like that's fine. But like you'd think that like every few years, like you're gonna get a new set of duffel bags for your teams. No, like they have catcher's bags from like 1989 that they're still using. That are like those crusty like Pilar like leather plasticky like tarp material.
Yeah,
That's like it's just all like crackling and like peeling off and it's like shedding basically.
There's something special about that though.
Yeah.
I
Don't
guess,
you think?
But like a little bit, but it also just like it's like how much money would it cost for you guys to just
Yeah.
and just get some uniform in here, right? Like the greens are different colors because of the eras in which the bags are from. They have like darker greens and like Kelly greens, and then greens that have just been faded into like grays and browns. Like
Yeah, I just feel like playing for the A's is just the least glamorous team. Like, I just feel like there's nothing glamorous about playing for the A's, but they're always going to be good. Same with the Rays. A's and the Rays.
Think
They will
about
not
the
spend any money.
Think about the joke where the players like, why is soda $1 in the clubhouse? You remember when they talk about in the thing
In the what?
in the movie
Oh,
when
in
they
the
talk
movie?
about how they have to pay
Yeah,
for
yeah.
soda?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's
it is.
insane, dude. Like when I see how much stuff like we give and like what they get, like we have a soft serve ice cream machine in our fucking clubhouse. And these guys have to pay for, or these guys were like literally paying for soda in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
They were paying $1 for a soda. Like they had a vending machine, not a fridge that I endlessly stock with whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't even know how they didn't even have it. Like, I'm pretty sure Pepsi just gives us all of our shit for free. And like, with the exception of like putting Pepsi on like the scoreboard and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it is. God. Like they supply for the stadium and then they're like, yeah, we'll send you guys like, I don't know, 10 cases of soda for the clubhouse. Like
Are guys like, how much is
coaches?
Okay, but how much are players? How well do they eat? Because I've always wondered that. You look at some players.
You want to break down the spreads of like what kind of food we be eating?
Yeah, like what's your
Yeah.
average dinner? Like what do you get? What are they getting before the game?
Here's a day.
Okay.
Let's go a night game. So there'll be 3 meals. There'll be a meal when they get there. There'll be a post BP meal, and there will be a post game. Or there'll be a when do they time it up? There'll be a BP meal. You eat it either before or after BP, before the game, and then there's a post game meal. There's 3 different meals. When you get there, sometime in the middle, and then post game. And so that like pregame meal is usually like sandwiches. So it'll be like subs or like buffalo chicken, like, you know, like sandwiches. And it's just like trays of like, you know, like little half sandwiches that are like wrapped and stuff.
Yeah.
Or it'll be like chicken. Or maybe it'll be like poke bowls or something like that. Like make your own poke bowl, or it'll be like tacos or something. And then you get into like the pre-BP meal or whatever. Tons of like, it'll be like 2 trays of like just like sauteed vegetables, like asparagus or broccoli or whatever. Then there'll probably be like rice or potatoes. Then there's always a ton of fish. I hate fish. And so there's just tons of fish. They just eat tons of salmon, tons of halibut, tons of trout. Not trout, just like halibut and salmon. And then post-game meal is like always like usually like a pasta and then like steak or.
Oh my God. So it's like good food. It's
always
like real good.
Like Maggiano's, like Capital Grill, or it's like the Diamond Club will make the food.
Yeah.
Center plate or whatever it's called.
So like this soft serve machine, are there players going up to the soft serve machine?
Like, yeah, all the time.
That's kind of surprising to me.
Oh yeah,
They
like
eat soft serve? Why is that surprising?
I don't know. I
mean,
just
how
feel like
much-
if you're a professional athlete, like
Yeah, but they fucking like burn calories. Like,
yeah,
you know,
I
like,
guess. But I just feel like
dude, when you do it every day,
yeah,
like this lifestyle is no joke. Like I was a little late getting here because it's just like I'm tired.
yeah,
Like, and I'm not a player, but like I say this like if like you guys went to a game, so you saw like I don't just get to like I'm running around.
You're
like
sprinting
it's like,
into the outfield,
Yeah, like
like,
I have to run
get
around.
your
like,
steps in.
yeah, like and like you know if there's a couple of first pitch doubles in a row, I'm gassed, dude. Like if they're not taking pitches like and they're getting on base quick, like I'm running.
we get the long inning where you just got to bring all the shit back to the dugout that like
Yeah, or
what the
or-
first base coach has.
Or if there's like a lot of foul balls, like I mean, I'm just like up and up and up, and it's like I sit on the little stool and I'm up. I'm sitting on the little stool and I'm up. So I'm doing squats and I'm doing little things. I'm like, I'm not saying it's like the craziest like workout of my life or anything like that, but like it's not just like walk and grab the bat and walk back to the
Yeah.
dugout. Like
think
I'm not
you're-
just sitting there eating sunflower seeds. Like
Do you think your 40 time has increased since you got
I
this
definitely
job?
think I'm in better shape.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Like I have to run to that bullpen like fucking 5 times a
we
week.
saw
like,
you,
know
Kyle.
it. Yeah.
Didn't you get a video of him running to the bullpen? one time?
so.
I got you picking up a bat, I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
something.
yeah. But like, is that you have to sprint out of the bullpen to like give a
So when
player, like,
when a
jacket.
relief pitcher comes in, I have to go get the jacket. And then some teams have like a little outfielder card.
oh
So like the Indians, I think it was the Indians. No, it would have been the Tigers. It was the Tigers. They had their coach was like our bat boy. Like he says he does this in like 16 seconds, and he goes from the top step at the front of the dugout. He goes down the dirt line till he gets to the outfield grass, then straight to the center fielder and to give him the card. And he says it takes him 16 seconds. So I didn't know that he just meant that time was just to the center fielder because I have to go and get the bullpen jacket also.
Yeah.
So I fucking sprinted full speed. Oh, I just remembered something else. I sprinted full speed. I didn't do the right route. I sprinted straight through the infield. I ran right past like the shortstop. He's like You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just head down, dead sprint.
Just
And I'm
trying
in
to get that 16 seconds.
I'm in Pegasus 96s or whatever, right? There's no tread on these things. There's no spikes. So I'm taking like the bendiest loop in the outfield after I like hand it off to the center fielder. And I like hand it off to him and he's just like
super confused.
Yeah, like I zip past him because normally the guys are like time, you know what I mean? And I'm just like gone. Like don't even hand him the baton. I'm just like, I hand him the baton and keep running.
Yeah.
And then like I run to the bullpen and like I just stick my hand out and the guy like he folded up the sweatshirt and like tucked it into the hood and he just like lobs it out to me. I just like catch it like one-handed in stride. And I get to like the point where they would like roll the tarp where like the tarp do we have a tarp? No, we don't have a tarp on the side of the field. I guess like in a normal stadium where the tarp would be and like my whole body just shut down. I just like felt like, like when you just like can like feels like you're running out of gas and you're just like
you feel like Jello.
Yeah, or you feel like it feels like I literally feel like Mater from like the Cars. Like I just imagine like him just kind of like sputtering and like my legs were just kind of like wobbling. But I also fell for the first time.
I was gonna ask you if you fell.
Yeah, I have fallen now.
Oh, where did you fall?
Hey, you gotta get the uniform dirty.
No, it was not. I don't like it. I have to wash it. So there's two bat boys. Well, there's a bat boy, me, and then there's two bat men, combined age of like 70.
Batman.
Well, there's the one guy that's been doing the bat boy since like I was a kid, and like he got promoted. He's been like promoted long since. I'm pretty sure this is like his 13th season as a bat boy or something like that.
Wow.
Like not like he's had to do it the last 2 years because of COVID. But he is a clubhouse attendant, not a bat boy, and he just has to do it. But and then the other guy's like he has kids, like totally like derailed my train of thought.
Wait, so you fell?
I fell, right. That's why, because I hit my head.
Oh,
no, I didn't.
Wait, so how'd you fall?
So how did you fall?
Yeah, sorry. I was making the joke like I lost my train of thought because I hit my head when I fell. So the point is that the bat boy on the home side is like, he's also in charge of getting baseballs to the umpire. So when there's like, I need 3 or I need 5 or whatever, then he like reaches into the bucket and grabs 5 new balls and runs it out there. And so he was refilling his bucket or he was going to the bathroom or whatever. He was taking like his one break that he would take in the whole game. And a ball goes and lands like right over by him. And usually like if your team is up to bat, like you're going to go get the balls. Like, and then also like you just kind of play it by ear. Like if you just saw me like run after like 3 doubles and a ball is like kind of in the middle, like help me out.
Yeah.
And so in this scenario, like I'm up to bat and I just like had to go like fix a broken bat or whatever, like get a new bat. And so I'm like walking up the top steps and I see a ball just like sitting over there. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. And then I see that he's not sitting there. So I'm like, fuck. So I sprint over there, and this is like the 7th inning, right? So it's a little late, and it's not light out anymore. The sun has gone down.
Yeah, so your depth perception might be a little skewed. It's a little darker.
The evening dew has set in on the field, and as we know from our Seattleites, it's a little humid right now. In like the last little bit, we had a little bit of a warm batch going through, a little warm spell, and so yeah, I'm sprinting over there. The ball is like just sitting. And what do? I do a 2 feet together stop and all my weight on my heels and there's no traction or tread or anything. Oh, no. And so I'm stopped completely. My whole body is, but my momentum is not. So like my heels just go and I'm just straight onto my right arm. I caught it like mostly shoulders. Like I had my head up so I didn't like whiplash and like smash my head or anything like that. But like I heard that everyone saw it. Like I heard the reaction.
Like, oh
yes, it was bad. And even like in like the panic of like, oh my god, I just fell. Like I need to like how long how long has this happened? Like how long has this whole event taken place? Am I on camera?
That was what I was gonna ask. Is where?
It's a cross. I ran a cross.
So you must
ball straight back.
Yeah. And
it had to have been sitting in frame.
Damn it, bro. I wish I saw
that.
that.
We can go
Did you
find
get to
it.
see the clip?
I can go find it. So, okay, and then that same night, I invited some girls from Skyline to the game, and the J.P. Crawford final at bat in the 9th inning, foul ball, hit one of my friends in the face.
Oh, what?
Yes.
In the stands?
Yeah, split her lip open.
Holy shit,
where were they sitting?
dude.
143.
Okay, like third base side?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that could have been like bad. Like way worse than just a split lip.
Yeah.
Did she get to go play catch on the field after?
No.
Wow.
We should ask, though. That's a good point. I think at least she should get a signed baseball or something.
Yeah,
but the other thing I was making this joke like with the guys in the dugout the next day. I was like, like I figured like the worst thing that could happen, or like the only like bad thing that could happen by like inviting a girl to the game is like she shows up with another date never in a million years like thought about her getting fucking drilled in the face with a baseball. Like, so maybe 300 level from now on when you have a girl that you're inviting. But
bro,
yeah,
I'm hyped for you. It sounds like you've been loving it.
Yeah, I mean it's cool that we're like doing this like at the end because it is over now. Like I have 3 games left and that's it for now. I mean maybe it'll come back, but yeah, I mean I had a hard time. Like I think the last time I was here, I was like like super down about like not getting this and stuff like that. So it'd be a really interesting like 180. And I think I had just posted like I made this big long sad Instagram post about how like brutal this year's been. So like I literally told myself like even though I just get to do it for a day, like that's all I want. Like I just want to do one series. And so like I keep reminding myself like dude, you got to do this for like 30 games. Like you really got to do it. Like in reality, it's like almost a full season in a normal year because there's multiple bat boys that would work in shifts.
Okay.
And so like I did it. Like not only that, like you guys have known how long I've wanted to do it. Like I did it so well that I got promoted. Like I did it too good. I was in 2 no-hitters.
Yeah.
Another complete game shutout. Another 7 2/3 like no-hitters. Melvin's like all-time wins. Miggy passing 40 whatever on the hits list. Like I mean, there's been some
a lot of milestones.
Yeah, there's like a lot of moments and milestones. Like my own. I've got to keep like the lineup card for my debut and stuff like that. And so like. It's definitely like I was having a hard time originally thinking like why is it getting taken away, but it's like it's really like pretty sweet that it like got to happen.
Yeah,
yeah, man,
definitely. I'm jealous.
Yeah, and it's cool, and like that was the other thing that's like the like you guys getting to go and see it. Like it's not only like it's one thing that like you got to like do the Outlaws, but it was like like I wish I could have like somehow like been there to like see you do it. You know what I mean? Like to be like, yo, John, that's like it's hard to cheer for the camera guy a little bit, but it's like like if you were
we were cheering for you so hard.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what's cool. Like you guys can like see me and like I get to like bring you a baseball and like you know what I mean. Like you guys can like there's that moment where like you're in the stands and I'm on the field.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
like
pretty sweet.
I may not be like a major leaguer, but like I'm in the show.
You did it. Yeah, you did it.
Field with
and
players.
And that's like that. I think that is probably the part like. I've talked about this for like so long and I've always told myself like, dude, this is what I should do. Like this would be so perfect. And like it was like, I was right. Like I was really good at it. Like I've had coaches tell me that like I've done a great job. And like I've done a good enough job to where they've trusted me to put me up into the next spot. So
yeah, no, that's a sign to like really,
yeah.
I really believe that every time I've trusted my gut on anything, it's always right. Whether it's like something I want to do or something I decide I don't want to do, or if I have a bad feeling about something, like, I don't know. I think it's always right.
Yeah. I mean, like, and it's just like, if you really want something, like it is worth it. Like, I mean, I'm coming from like the guy that moved, like quit a job that he thought he was like, I thought I had the job before I had this job, right? I like, because this is like, how do you get this? You can't get this job. And so like before I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm gonna be in this job forever. And then like one day I quit that job, moved across the entire country and waited fucking 18 months to get this job. Like I waited a whole year.
Yeah.
And like burned through all of my money. And like, I'm still sitting here saying like, wow, how do I sign up to like start it again? Like I'm ready to go bankrupt again for a year just so I can get another 30 games in. Yeah. Like it is like the yeah, it's
awesome,
it's
man.
everything it could ever be.
Yeah. Hey, well, let's hop into the segments here.
Oh, sick.
Do it.
So today we have fan questions and recommendations. My recommendation this week is don't hold your pee in anymore, okay?
Let it out.
I was listening to a podcast with this guy, and he's like, I'm such a procrastinator, and I'm so like during the day, I'm so focused on like tasks and like doing all these things, and he's like, I literally realized that I procrastinate eating and I procrastinate peeing. Like if I have to go, I heard that and I was like, wow, I never realized that, but I think I do the same thing. And then over the next couple of weeks, I noticed that as I'm working throughout the day, I'm sitting there and I have to go pee, but I punish myself for that. And so I'll have to go pee for like an hour and a half and just work knowing it. But it's kind of like, I feel like I'm working harder because I have to go.
You're like, I can't pee until I've done this. So you're it's like you're peeing as your reward. So it like motivates you to work faster. That's terrible. But so like I've done that same thing.
I used to do it a lot, but the last couple of weeks I realized like this is just fucking stupid because when you have to pee, you kind of get like stressed in a way. And so I've started peeing just whenever I have to pee, and my life's a lot better now. I feel better.
I do the same thing, but I do it with food. Like I won't eat until my work is done.
Yeah.
And it's bad because then I'm just sitting there starving and I'm angry at my work and I'm like,
it takes longer and
yeah. I don't know why I do that.
There's so many things that we do as humans that I feel like we think it's like being beneficial in the long run, or we think that it's being productive, but like in the long run it's just hurting you.
Oh, dude. So when I lived in California, I had like my desk and my bathroom was like my bathroom was right there. Like I could probably pee from my desk into my bathroom. And so because of that, like if I had to go to the bathroom, it was like, okay, like I'm up and to the bathroom and I'm out like instantly. So it was like in my mind, good. No. Once like I don't have the like it, because my brain is thinking like you can go to the bathroom whenever you want. Like I actually fucked up my own bladder, and like it took me like a whole like half a year of not living in that room again to like not just be able to be able to control my bladder again.
I totally get that because I work in my bedroom. Yeah, and my bathroom is right behind where I sit. I can literally turn around and go to the bathroom, and I've noticed that days when I'm working from home, I'll go to the bathroom like 3 times more than when I'm out and about doing things. It's like I don't have to go, or I just get like bored and then my body thinks I have to go pee.
I overthink it a lot. I'm like, do I have to pee? I'm like, I could pee. Might as well pee.
Dude, and especially like a little bit. And especially like now it's like too like, or like if this is like beginning of COVID, I was like, if I'm gonna wash my hands, like might as well go to the bathroom right now. Like I'm gonna wash my hands anyways, so it's like I'll just go to the bathroom real quick. And stuff like that. So it's like, but yeah, I just remember like that, like just ruining my like own. It was like the inverse effect of that, like going to the bathroom whenever you wanted. Then like I went out for the first time. It was like, damn, bro, I gotta pee. Like, and then like not being able to like have the bathroom instantly available.
Yeah,
shit. But bathroom access is key.
All right, Kyle, what do the people got to try out this week?
All right, mine is not as specific as yours. Well, actually, mine is more specific than yours. Mine is do not use the spray sunscreen. Use the lotion, because the spray doesn't cover your whole body. As I learned in California.
You got to spray, but then you also have to rub the spray a little bit.
That's stupid.
But it makes sense.
You got to do coats.
Yeah, but like you could just lather yourself and then you're good.
No, I agree. The lotion is better.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you guys got burnt not because it was spray sunscreen, but because you spray like that with your hand really far away.
Well, that's the thing, is like
it barely gets on.
It's deceiving. So like, yeah, you could do a good job of it, but you're less likely to do a good job with sunscreen. And as a extremely white person who burns a lot, it's a real issue, because I don't want to have sunburns, and that'll ruin my week.
Yeah.
And now my neck's peeling.
Yeah, dude, my head has been peeling the last week or so, and it looks like I have I learned that if your head is peeling, that is dandruff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I always thought dandruff was like the gross kids in middle school that like didn't know personal hygiene, and they just got dandruff.
It just means you have a dry scalp, and that's
that could have been because they didn't know hygiene.
That's what sunburn does, dries out your skin, so it's the same thing. It's just drying out your
but
scalp.
did you guys like in your mind when you hear dandruff, did you always associate that with like gross kids and just being gross, and then you get it, or did you guys all know that?
It's usually like it's just kind of like one of those things that comes with it, like like because you have bad hygiene, you're probably gonna have an unhealthy scalp.
Okay.
I was always trying to grow a beard, so I really understood like hair follicles and stuff like that.
Dude, your beard is nice.
Thanks, very well. Do you get compliments on it from players?
I have to wear a mask all the time.
Oh, that sucks. You don't get to show off your beautiful beard.
You got a chain though.
I do have a chain. I have gotten compliments on the chain.
By the way, last time you were here, you were talking about how you hadn't had a haircut in like a long time. And I like your fresh cut.
Oh, I get a haircut like every 2 weeks now. Yeah, now that I like get money and
that Mariner money.
Yeah, that Mariner money. It's actually that everyone the Mariners play money.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out the Mariners for losing at home every once in a while.
But yeah, all right. So what do we got? Oh, fan questions.
Yep.
The first one, we got 2 this week. The first one is, what do you think of men's butts? Just in general. This is just what are your thoughts on butts of men?
I respect a good ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I see one, I will be like, that's a
like
nice ass.
Like a strong, like a receiver. You can just know like those are strong legs.
Good ass. It's not gonna, that's about all I have on it. Is like, oh, nice. Like I respect that. You can probably squat a lot.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Now, if there was 2 athletes, exact same abilities, exact same everything, one of them has a bigger ass, one of them has a smaller ass, and you have to pick one player on your
probably
team.
Bigger ass. Larry Fitzgerald.
I'm taking the guy with the bigger ass, because like if I'm like, think about how intimidating that looks. Like you remember like the guys in the early 90s when they wore like the tight baseball pants?
Their legs
and
were
they're
insane.
like, yeah, bro, they look like a Kardashian out there, bro. They're just standing up there. It's like, bro, I don't want to throw to that guy. Look how much he's packing up there. Franmil Reyes, like, first of all, like you guys, like this is kind of an unfortunate, or not an unfortunate question, but like I happen to just like sit like at ass level,
so you
eye
can
ass
compare.
level with guys as they're swinging a bat, staring. Like, I mean, like it's literally my job to stare at someone's ass because they're literally batting. And I have to make sure that the ball isn't going to hit me in the face or the bat. Which I have almost gotten hit by a bat this year, by the way. Mitch Haniger, I went down off my stool, and like the next pitch, he like let go of the bat, and it smashed the net right behind where I was sitting.
Damn.
I was like, okay, you're not going to stand on the stool when Mitch is up. But yeah, definitely with you. Like, I'm not going to just ignore it.
Yeah,
like
if it's there, it's there.
When a couple of guys walk by, and then like a DH walks by, and he's just got a Mack truck back there, like you got to at least acknowledge it because homie's been working for that thing. So.
Yeah, you can respect that.
Yeah,
and also like a big reason, like, you know, the baseball pants, like that's, I mean, I'm sure my butt looks incredible in those things. Like it doesn't. You could not have an ass, and then you put baseball pants on, and you have somewhat of an ass. Like
I did not have an ass.
Well,
in baseball
you
pants.
were like
I also was
15.
like 120 pounds.
So, all right.
15.
What's the next?
Oh yeah.
Last
Other
question
was create an invention right now. I have my invention. Do you want my invention?
Yeah, you go first. So he basically said, if you could create any invention, what would it be, and what would you call it?
Yeah. Okay. So mine's called car fire. So like, you know, we know here when it's in the winter, it's really cold here. So when you like start your car, you're getting blown with cold air and you want that heat on. So you could get instant heat in your glove box, open it up, fireplace, car fire. You can bring your own logs, throw a match in there. You can even at the gas station buy some gasoline and then like pour it in there a little bit just for later. So when you flick the match in, it'll ignite.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to have a open flame in a
Why not?
combustible engine.
In a vehicle?
Why?
Well, like, just because the whole thing could potentially explode.
Kyle, after this podcast, we're gonna have you do a little bit of research on the Hindenburg.
I have a car fire.
You have a car fire?
I don't have a car fire.
Yeah, that's,
No, I mean, I'd buy it if you made
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm saying.
Mainly just to support you, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like most realistically, what you would like have is some kind of little like just like sauna-esque like hot coal situation.
right. And we could also slow cook some stuff in there too, like a smoker.
Now that would be cool to have
smoking
a
in our car. Yeah.
like a grill in the back of
and
your
then like
truck.
it comes out through the top. Like the little
How
smoke
hot
comes
do you
out.
think when you're like driving a car? How hot do you think are you a car guy? Do you know car stuff?
Do you know engine temperature?
How hot does like the engine get? Do you know?
Well,
Like enough to like slow roast steak?
Could
Like could you
I
build a
grill
car
something
where
on
you
my
build
engine?
like a little thing above, so it's still under the hood?
yeah, I mean, you definitely could cook stuff on it. Like you could definitely crack an egg on like a certain like the right part of the engine. Sure,
Yeah, yeah.
like, and it might have to be like an older car because I don't know about like materials and stuff. But yeah, there's somewhere where there's like a big metal faceplate that like if you had an engine running like on a summer day after it was like
Like a flank
ripping.
steak.
Yeah, that might work. Or maybe just like some burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're hungry when you start driving, and then you start
Some
driving,
glizzies?
and then you're there, and then you just flip them at a stoplight, and
Yeah.
then
Nothing like a hot rod hot dog. You know what I'm saying?
So, exactly.
That's my invention.
Hot rod hot dog.
Yep. It's partnering with John's company. We're actually this is a
Kyle's
Kyle's
company.
I was like, what the
I'm looking at you, pointing at him. Kyle's company. John's also an angel investor. But yeah, so Kyle and I are going on Shark Tank soon to pitch this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically it's like a George Foreman, but it's specifically for your engine bay and for hot dogs. The hot rod hot dogs.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay. Well, mine is, you know, when you have your blender bottle
Yes.
or your whatever water bottle and you finish it, and then you're not really at a spot where you have access to refill it quite yet, and then like 10 minutes later you forget that you just finished it and you go to take a sip and you just get like, or you pick it up and you're
Yeah, and it's
disappointed because
nothing in
it's
there.
empty. So my invention would be a water bottle where when it sweats, when the water bottle sweats, it has a little thing where it like will wipe down the outside. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It'll have a contraption that'll wipe down the sweat on the outside of the bottle and pool it at the bottom. So then in those scenarios where you run out of water, you unscrew that bottom and you get like one little extra gulp.
Okay. Okay. I have follow-up questions. I have comments on this.
So what do you guys think?
Um,
Oh, I forgot to tell you, it's called Great Sweat.
Great sweat.
Yeah, so it encourages you to want to have a sweaty water bottle because that leads to extra water. So just in those small situations where your mouth's feeling dry and you're out of water, you pop off the great, what did I call it?
Great sweat.
Great sweat. You dump it in and then you get one more gulp.
Yeah, you have any comments?
I hate everything about the idea.
Yeah.
Why? No, but it's a double whammy because not only does it make your water bottle not sweat.
Dude, look how nasty the outside of my would you lick this water bottle right now?
No, but those don't
How much
sweat,
money?
so that doesn't even matter.
Okay, the point. Would you lick that?
Knowing that my hand has been grasping this all
Like
day.
you've been working out, you've been touching all the different materials, the bars, your skin cells are like like how the bar at the gym has, it's like a cheese grater essentially,
Yeah.
right? You're just exchanging dead skin cells with somebody at that. Like you're just leaving some of yours and picking up some of theirs, and then you're grabbing your water bottle and it's mixing with that water, and then you're just getting a nice kind of muddy dead skin.
I'll be honest, didn't really think of all that.
That was the first thing that popped in my
That
mind.
was
But-
really the only thing I was thinking about was just like imagine going imagine you doing that thing where you have like a windshield wiper that just like squeezes it out,
Yeah.
and you just catch that all in your hand, and then you sip it out of your dirty hands at the
Yeah,
gym.
but think about how many times you'll eat food and not wash your hands before. Like, nowadays people wash their hands a lot more, but everyone will eat a snack every once in a while, or you'll
John.
grab something, eat it without washing your hands. All that shit on your hands going in your mouth already.
John, I don't care how thirsty I am. If I spill water on this table, I'm not slurping the water off the table.
You're not going to Zamboni the water?
It's different. It's different when like you're talking about something like the water is like picking up everything that it's going. Like it's one thing for me to like have my finger, like I could not wash my hands, but I could see my hands and be like, yeah, like this part of my hand is dirty, but like if I just use these two fingers, like I'm fine.
Okay,
Like
okay.
the bottle is nasty. Like your hands are nasty, and you're touching it all over.
I just think you're underestimating how clean I am.
I think-
I'm a very
I think
clean
maybe
man.
we
No,
can-
I'm a clean man. Like I'm clean. I'm a very clean person, and I'm telling you that like I wouldn't even consider. Like I just cleaned this morning with like hot water. Like I boiled my kettle and just nuked it.
Hey, man.
So-
I'm a pretty sanitary guy.
Maybe to like sanitize that water, you could add like a filtration system or like a squirt of hand sand in there maybe.
And mix
Get
in
a little
hand
flavor.
sanitizer and then
Yeah,
drink it.
yeah. You just need a chlorine tablet in there
Yeah, or like a
to
Tide Pod.
dilute the
drop a
that
Tide
quarter
Pod.
ounce of basically salt water at
Yeah.
that point, because it's mostly just like skin cells.
You could just
Yeah.
desalinate the water, boil it out, get it back down into pure form, and then drink that.
That's not a word.
Yeah.
Desalinate?
Desalinate?
It is a word, and I can desalinate water.
I know that's a word because Kyle has mentioned so many times that he believes he can desalinate water
I
on
can.
his own given the proper materials.
I can. You want me to explain how I do it again?
I know how
you've
do it.
explained it enough.
You capture the steam.
Yes. And then
Yeah.
you cool the steam down, and then
Yeah.
boom, fresh
and then
water.
when the steam, not vapor, what's the word?
Condenses.
Condenses.
Okay.
Then it
Well,
precipitates.
I've heard this enough. I don't want to hear about
Yeah.
fucking desalination anymore.
It looks like Kyle's been home on a Sunday when Naked and Afraid has played 36 times in a row.
Exactly. they're desalinating water.
That's literally what they look like, wrapping their thing with the
Yeah.
copper pipe.
If you got an email to be on Naked and Afraid, had to be fully naked though, and you
Bro.
had to go with your real name, real identity, would you do it?
If you think I'm getting sunburned at the beach, think about what like this looks like.
Dude, a dick sunburn
Dude,
would be
getting your balls in your
Bro,
terrible.
dick.
Naked and
burned.
Afraid is, I don't even want to walk to my street barefoot,
No.
dude.
Honestly, I'd rather be completely naked with shoes on than barefoot with clothes on.
What am I going to do? Not sit down for a month?
Yeah. I'm not sitting on a
Well,
log.
There's logs
my
are
ass.
fine. I mean,
What
why?
feels like
Wouldn't you-
ants.
Dude, live a little. There's humans for thousands of years. Like, little ants
Yeah,
in your
but
asshole
not
doesn't
me.
hurt nobody.
Not me. I don't have ants in my ass.
Yeah, but eventually you'd get used
How
to
much
it.
money would you need to get paid to do that?
Naked and Afraid?
What is it, a week?
I thought it was 30 days.
Oh,
Dude,
fuck.
I'd do
dude.
Naked and Afraid for like a 50 grand.
We
What?
could,
I would
we could
consider doing-
probably crowdsource that.
I would be down for that
Patrons,
too.
if you're here listening,
Yeah, if all you guys want to, if we hit like 2,000 patrons, I'll do my own version of Naked
if
and
any
Afraid.
of you guys bought Dogecoin early on and are looking to make an investment in
some content,
in some entertainment,
Invest in John's
Invest in
naked
me.
body.
yeah, it would be unfiltered.
Yeah,
for
you
pa-
can
for
see
patrons.
everything.
yeah, no, for sure.
That would be a
course.
good one. We should. OnlyFans should do that. They should do a Naked and Afraid. That's my new
There's
invention.
probably people on OnlyFans that are doing
OnlyFans
shit like
naked and
that.
afraid.
Yeah, I saw someone on Twitter, like some gaming girl on Twitter has an OnlyFans, and she was promoting that she did a naked twister with like friends, and I was like, this doesn't. Sound
would
right.
not
That's a
look
good
good doing
collaboration, though. I will say, like, think about it, like, just in terms, like, objectively, right? Like, we've been in the gaming kind of thing, and so, like, the collaboration is like how it's like when two people's worlds collide. Like if all of a sudden like 4 of the top OnlyFans people are like doing like this big event together, like that's like, I mean, that's good on them.
Yeah,
like,
no, I mean, props to them.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm
still confused who's buying it.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's
it's
the
like
one.
I don't
OnlyFans?
understand who are the people, because there's people that have like tens of thousands of subs on OnlyFans. I'm like, who are all these people that are?
I don't know
I'm
a
a
single
pretty-
person that is subscribed to any OnlyFans, at least that I know of.
I could be defined as a pretty lonely guy at times, and it's just never really gotten to that point.
No.
Like I've thought about it just because it's like I want to see like what this interface like genuinely looks like. I just genuinely want to see like what a feed looks like.
Just curious about
what's
the technology.
What's the vibe? Yeah.
No, but then I was just like, what does an OnlyFans feed look like? And then you can just like, okay, that's what the app looks like. You know what I mean? But it's like I've never been like, man, I really want to see this. Like what does that do for people? Like how do people like do you really get like a sense of like
I think it's just a
joy
sense
or
of like
whatever?
connection, because they feel like they know that person more than they know some random porn star.
Yeah,
That's
but like
just
they
so
don't.
crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what
maybe
they
you
don't.
do
Well,
because
they
like
might, I
there's
guess.
I mean like do you guys have any girls from your guys? Like have you found like the girls in your
I
high
don't
school?
know. No, like there's
Oh,
no one
no,
I know
I'm-
personally that has an OnlyFans.
Because we've got like 3 from like my grade where it's
Really?
like these girls are like on there.
Yeah,
I mean, they might be. I don't go on OnlyFans. I've actually never even looked at it.
yeah. And it's not like, when I think of it, it's not weird to me thinking like, oh, someone wants to pay money for like, or it's not the amount of money. It's not that I'm like, oh, $20 is something like, why would someone pay $20? Because people buy $20 at fucking Starbucks like every day. So that's not the thing that's weird. It's more just the fact that like you're going out of your way for that content when there's literally like tens of millions of other options out there
For free.
I don't know. But
Well, obviously you're going there seeking a specific like personal reaction, but for me it's just like how does whatever you receive from that like turn into like that reaction from you? Like how does that like genuinely make you like happy or like feel good? I just don't get I mean like
Yeah.
all the power to them. Like I support sex work, all that stuff.
Yep.
But like just like I don't think from like a man I feel like there's got to be a healthier alternative
Yeah.
than like thinking that this, like you said, like feeling like this girl, like pretend, you know what I mean? Like
Like it was-
pretending like this, I'm with this person or
Yeah.
something.
Like it was specifically for you.
Well, and that's the weird part because a lot of the stuff is like, to my understanding, is that it's
they
like,
can do that where it's like
yeah.
if you sub, I send each of you like an individual
yeah, I send you like
video.
personalized stuff, and
But
then it's
even
like
that, it's like-
OnlyFans cameo, like, because that's like when I see someone get like a cameo, I'm like, oh, that's cool, but it's also like I know someone just like paid $60, so
Yeah.
it feels super ingenuine, right? So it's like it's not like this celebrity like knew it was my birthday because like it's a friend of a friend or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is a transaction.
Yeah.
And sometimes it feels like that, but like that's why it was just like, to me, it's like, is that really it? Like, yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Internet's weird.
Crazy world, a lot of smells. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up.
A lot of smells.
Thank you all
the
so
office.
much for.
That's not what you want to say on the OnlyFans sign up.
There's probably a lot of smells.
There are lots of smells.
That's
God,
my new
man.
invention. OnlyFan for smells.
Only smell.
Only smell.
You pay subscriptions and then.
Yeah,
We
you
just
get
say-
it
Well,
sent
yeah,
in the
you
mail.
can't get smells through your computer.
Yeah, we send you.
mail.
We send you
Scratch.
Why
Gwyneth
is
Paltrow
that-
vagina candles.
That's
Scratches.
got to be a thing. In the next like 15 years, they have to implement smell into movies somehow.
That would be awesome.
They have it at Disneyland.
How the fuck?
Yeah, but like I'm just surprised it's not bigger yet.
Well, I mean, think
Where
about
like
what?
every type of media, like smell is just integrated.
because you'd have to like it'd have to be like a soda machine that you're like real like, you know, those Coca-Cola machines that have every flavor. Like that's
Yeah.
essentially what your TV would have to be in. Like somebody would have to come in there and like stock like the different scents.
Yeah.
But imagine just like someone farts on TV and you're just blasted with like a shit spray from your TV.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd
like
be
what
kinda-
what happens when you're like watching a war movie and they're like burning a pile of corpses? Like,
yeah, yeah.
Or are we just like in our house like
You throw tear gas and you're like,
yeah, bro. I hate this part.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. Joe, this was super fun.
Yeah, this was all over the place.
Yeah, no,
baseball
man.
and OnlyFans.
Yeah. We got to have you on again in like a couple months from now, talk about some more shit. And
what's the Yankees come to town?
hell yeah. Yeah. Oh, also, I don't think we mentioned, but since we talked to Joe last time, he got us tickets to a game. So shout out to you, Joe. That was really fun. That was the first game I've been to in like couple years, honestly. It was so fun. And it was a walk-off.
Yeah, it was a great game to go to.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a walk-off.
Yeah. Ty France.
Anyways, guys, thank you all so much. There's new episodes every Monday and Thursday. Joe, where can the people follow you?
Twitter and Instagram, Joe_Rossman. It'll probably be in
It'll be in the description
somewhere.
and stuff.
I'll be tagged in one of these clips somewhere.
Yep. Kyle, where can I follow you?
Kyle Stafford 36. Follow the podcast at PIMS Podcast, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
There you go. You can follow me at Hey Narwhal on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. You can also subscribe to my other YouTube channel called Hey Narwhal, where I do movie reviews for every single superhero movie, which I'm doing on my TikTok right now. But yeah, with that being said, you can get merch at pims.store, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.